Darcy Staddon, and we're here in Nagoya, Japan. Michael O had asked Darcy to move here to be his executive assistant for the Lausanne movement, and she had already been working with a local seminary here called Christ Bible Seminary. So that's what initially brought us to Japan.
Yeah, so my ministry has been in support capacity for the Lausanne movement, which is passionate about connecting influencers and ideas for global mission. And I also get to encourage the missionaries and the students at the seminary here in Nagoya. The support that we started receiving from the Antioch Partners really began in the first phone call conversation that I had with Andrew Adair. We were trying to discern who's going to send us with our kind of bizarre hybrid call, like, oh, I'm going to do this Lausanne thing with this Christ Bible Institute thing, and Art's going to do this Christ Bible Institute thing. Is this something that TAP does? And Andrew said, this is exactly the kind of thing that we do. And at that moment I felt like, oh, maybe we're going to find a home with this group.
I've just felt very blessed to be with TAP. We feel really well taken care of. So right now I'm studying Japanese, which is extremely difficult, and raising our baby girl Megumi while my wife works full-time. The language is definitely more difficult, but I hope to eventually reach out to some unreached people groups within this unreached country, namely hikikomori, who are mostly young men who have literally locked themselves in their rooms and choose not to engage in society at all. A lot of times they've been bullied, or they've just been upset because of failure. There's really no forgiveness in a lot of instances in this country.
One of the areas of thinking that I really started just a few months into being here, when we knew we wanted to be here longer, was how do you endure as a missionary? Like that came in really fast. It's like, you can't just sprint through this. Like, we actually need to be healthy and thrive and do things that we love, even in a culture where I don't know how to do some of those things. Where do you even buy the supplies to make that craft or go enjoy that kind of music? But that became important, and we're trying to live that out more. I think that's going to help us. One joy of being here long term are these friendships that we've been forming. Just feeling like I'm not going to have to say goodbye to this friend for a long time. So because we have a new baby in our lives, we've been taking a lot of pictures of her. And because of that, I went a lot to a photo shop. And so I would go there a lot. There's this woman there named Aya who is always really friendly, really kind to me, and would try to speak to me in English and help me with the computer to develop things. And then one afternoon, with English Cafe coming up in a few days, I felt like I need to invite Aya to English Cafe. And it's one of those moments where you feel like God is making a request of you, and you have a choice. And then we had coffee together, and we sat over lunch together. I shared scriptures about love and marriage with her. She's about to be married, and she came to church with us. And there's a long story ahead for my friendship with Aya and what God will do in our life. But I'm just so blessed by obedience. Like, God blessed me in that obedience to be loved by this amazing woman and build this friendship with her. And I'm looking forward to what God's going to do next in that. And we've had some Skype times, especially with Terry since we've been here, trying to navigate adoption and what does that mean for TAP and health insurance and budget and all these changes for us. And the best thing I feel Terry has always provided is, okay, let's pray. And that's been, I think, one of those beautiful ways of being cared for. Like I don't know how much prayer has gone up for us from the TAP office, but I know that it's been substantial because we've been able to be steady and healthy and whole here, and I know that's a big part of the weapon that God's given us as the TAP family.